Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Klinsky, and I hope you're having a great Friday. For everyone who's joining me live today on Facebook and YouTube, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this later, then I hope you enjoy it as well. If you are watching us live today, happy Friday. Today is May 29th. It's the end of May. I know these months are just going by so fast. And I hope you're having a good or plans for a good weekend, no matter where you're at throughout the country. Hopefully you get a chance to get outside and enjoy some relaxation with your friends and family. Today, I just wanted to grab your attention for a few minutes. I wanted to talk a little bit about my book, Work, Passion, Life Balance. And I'm going to give you a little insight into the book regarding how it all works and what is my philosophy, just to kind of give you a little teaser, if you will, about the book. And it goes into so much more detail once you start reading it. But I want to go through the basic of the philosophy because I think everybody should know it, whether you buy the book or not. I want to make sure that if you are struggling with any of these areas, you can find out more details from the book. But I'm going to jump right in and kind of show you why I believe everybody should kind of start at least thinking about this type of philosophy, not only to enhance their quality of life, but also to make it more manageable. You know, with today's need for social media and instant gratification and kind of instant communication through text message and whatnot, it's really important to keep everything kind of intact and in line so that you don't lose sight of yourself. I think what happened when everybody, throughout COVID and everybody was staying at home is a lot of people I ran into were becoming more depressed or anxious or just not liking their life. And part of it was that when they took a step back from their life, they didn't like what they saw and what they were seeing with the relationship with themselves. And I highlight that as one of the most important parts of having a balanced life is you have to have a good relationship with yourself. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of detail here. And it starts with the book. Again, one last time, Work, Passion, Life Balance. And I talk about the zones of efficiency. I'm going to just put that book down. I'm going to draw a little circle for you and kind of highlight where I believe you can find some efficiencies in your life, but also focus on that zone of life satisfaction. So the way that the philosophy works is that there's three circles: work, passion, and life. Now, I talk about it in the book that there are three kind of relationship type focuses on each one of these categories. And so work is a very selfless type of relationship. You're working for somebody, you're working on a relationship that you're giving, you're doing something that is selfless in its nature. And so those relationships could be anything that you're considering work on. Passion is very selfish. So it's really the relationship that makes you happy with whatever it is, whether it's a relationship with reading or gardening, or it's really that relationship with yourself that brings happiness to you. And then life is really mutually beneficial. Relationships. And so if you break down every relationship you have, and this weekend, try to think of it, is, when you're thinking about anything you do in life, do you do it out of a selfless approach, a selfish approach, or mutually beneficial approach? And I think most of our economy, most of the people in the US, they were really good at work-life balance, but they never really thought about themselves as having a relationship with themselves. And this is the big idea about the book, is that I want you to learn about, and I give you lots of stories, personal experiences of where I failed and how I came up with this. But you have to understand that if you could be really good at work and life, but if you don't like yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't have those hobbies, those things that refill you up with energy, you're just going to be draining energy all day. And so what I'm going to talk about right now is what's called the zones of efficiency. We'll use a different color here. So the zones of efficiency are the overlaps between, let's see if you can see that pretty good. Let me do a different color here. I'll do purple. Yeah, let's see if that sticks out better. The overlap between any two circles. is what I call it zones of efficiency. And you can see that from the different diagrams in the book. But the zones of efficiency are really where you can maximize your life. And so what we are good at is saying, like, for instance, when we're at work, we might have some friends that we can have some overlap. When we are at doing something of our hobby, like gardening, we can find other people who share in that hobby, and there's that overlap. And then the last zone is really when you're at work doing something you love, where is the overlap there? And so I give you a lot of specific examples of my life where I've been able to optimize zones of efficiency to really not only maximize time, but your energy and where you're putting your energy at on a daily basis really matters. If you're going to constantly live in a zone where you're giving, and you're not receiving either mutually or focusing on yourself, you're just going to be drained. You're going to have no energy. You're going to have low self-esteem. You're just not going to be in a good place. And so you have to keep it all balanced. And where you find the zones of efficiency, you can enhance and you can optimize your life in a way that's, doesn't take a neuroscience to figure out, but it's really just, hey, I have a friendship here and I have a passion here and it works. And so if you can focus on those relationships, they're going to enhance your life. And ultimately, the goal of this diagram is to really show you that the main center here is what's called the zone of life satisfaction, where all three interact. And the secret that I relieve in the book is that you can't manually focus on growing the zone of life satisfaction. It only can be enhanced by increasing the overlap between these three circles. You can't just say, I want to have a better life. Boom, I want to do it. You can't do it. There's nothing you can modify or change. What you have to do is you have to focus on the zones of efficiency to increase the overlap of the circles. And so when you can imagine that when there's more overlap between these two circles and these two circles, the middle section will naturally grow. But you can't just force it. You can't say, I want to have a better life satisfaction and just only focus on that circle. You have to focus on the zones of efficiency to increase the gap, and it'll naturally enhance your life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. As a Friday, it's kind of a special treat, but I wanted to just give you a little bit inside of the book, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'd love to address them. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy your time with your family and friends, and make sure that you just kind of recharge and be ready for what comes in June, because it's June 1st on Monday. So thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you later.